Think about the best gift you've ever been given. Was it jewelry, a bike, a trip? Was it on your birthday, a holiday, or just on a random day? For me, those moments when I received something from a loved one just because they wanted to, or they saw something that made them think of me, made me feel so loved and happy. See, no matter who you are, everyone wants to be noticed by someone. Everyone wants to know that there are people who love and care about them. That's why this month, we're taking a look at generosity. Generosity is making someone's day by giving something away. When we talk about being generous, we don't mean simply being generous with what we give. We hope to help kids see that generosity is an attitude or a posture that we can have throughout our entire lives. How we give is much more important than what we give. But it can feel hard to figure out how to give. Thankfully, once we learn about true generosity and where it comes from, we have the help we need to be generous to others in the best way possible. As we talk more about generosity this month, we'll memorize James 1:17a, which talks about this very thing. Every good and perfect gift is from God. Did you hear that? Every single good gift comes from God. God has been so generous to us by sending the gift of Jesus, God's very own Son, that it's only natural that we should in turn show that generosity to others. Generosity changes us when we learn how to give the way that God gives. This month, we'll tackle some moments from the Bible that can help kids develop a good perspective on what it means to be a generous person. We kick off week 1 taking a closer look at our memory verse in James 1. James is Jesus' brother, and he is writing to the 12 Jewish tribes who were scattered about. At the time, they were facing persecution and suffering, and many were experiencing poverty. James starts off by acknowledging that everyone will face trouble in life, but we can remember that God is there and gives us good things, from the air we breathe, to the beautiful things we see in this world, to wisdom and guidance, and most importantly, to Jesus. When it comes to generosity, God is the best example we can look to. Bottom line, God gives us good things. In week 2, we turn to 1 Kings 17, where we learn about a prophet named Elijah and his encounter with a widow. It may be easy to see how a prophet could do something for a widow, but the other way around? A widow at that time had no way of supporting her family, and there was also a famine. Yet, she trusted the words the Lord spoke to Elijah and gave what little she had to him. Not only did it end up blessing her in the end, but it also helped Elijah to continue on with his journey. Bottom line, you always have something to give. In week 3, we head to 2 Corinthians 9:7, where we take a look at one of Paul's letters to the church at Corinth. In this particular chapter, Paul encouraged them to give. But not if they don't want to or even because they have to, but because it pleases God. Giving is about more than just whether we do or don't, or how much we give or how little we give. Giving is about our hearts. When we give with a cheerful heart, God is filled with joy. Bottom line, give with a good attitude. We finish up the month in 1 John 3, where John is writing to a group of believers who were being taught false things about Jesus. John wrote in order to encourage them and remind them that Jesus really does love them. Out of love, God saw our deepest needs and sent Jesus for us. To love is to give. Whether it's our time, talent, or things, we can show others God's love when we give to those in need. Bottom line, Jesus showed us how to give. We hope these stories will help you unpack this principle of generosity for the kids so that they will understand how they can show God's love to the world throughout their entire lives. We think that once kids understand how to give and the impact it makes, not only will it change the world around them, but them as well. This month, let's remember God's generosity towards us as we learn how to be generous to others.